You may not have heard this one from your history books. Descendants of black people enslaved by members of Native American tribes in the 1800s have still not been allowed to become full tribal citizens. Now, these descendants are known as freedmen. They're not even considered by the tribes to be members, quote, by blood. Joining me now is Demario Solomon Simmons, a Black Creek civil rights attorney in Tulsa. You've seen him on his show before. He represents the Tulsa survivors as well. Demario, so happy to have you back with me. I do want to say that we did reach out to the Muscogee Creek Nation to invite them to be on the show, and they provided a statement instead, which I'll read now. Our people, our nation, and our identity long predate the United States. Many of our citizens feel that identity is at the heart of this issue. The systematic abuse of Native Americans and the enslavement of African Americans in the United States creates both a complicated history and present a challenge. It is imperative as a government that we meet these moments with full engagement from our citizens.
No, it's not about a consideration. They're breaking the law. They're the Treaty of 1866, Article 2, that specifically states that people like myself have the full citizenship rights within the Creek Nation. They are completely ignoring that law, and at this time, the Biden administration is allowing them to get away with that. So it's not a consideration. They enslaved African people, and there are also people that were of African descent that were citizens like my family.
Actor Don Cheadle has never heard anything about his ancestors who lived through the aftermath of slavery.
Take a look at this.
Chickasaw Nation Freedmen Roll.
This document is an official enrollment card for the Chickasaw Freedmen, the former slaves owned by the Chickasaw Nation.
Owned by the Chickasaw Nation.
Owned by the Chickasaw Nation. Your ancestors were enslaved by Native Americans.
Yes, there are some black people that have Native American blood. I'm talking about someone that looks undeniably black, but yet says they are aboriginal to this country and land, and their people were already here. So in order to address that, we have to go back in time a little. There are black people that have enrollment papers and documentation that states they are part of a Native American tribe. They are indeed black people that were born on Indian reservations. So when you say to them, you're African, your ancestors were enslaved Africans, they find it very difficult to accept that information, simply because they have paperwork that says they're Native American or they were born on a particular reservation. They will argue that some black Native Americans were confused and reclassified as African Negroes and in turn enslaved. But all of this is confusion and misunderstanding. Many enslaved Africans that escaped from their white slave masters ran to and sought refuge within Native American tribes. This, of course, meant that they were able to live amongst the tribes, raise families, as well as marry into the tribes. They were also granted membership or enrollment of a tribe. This meaning that they were not indigenous to these tribes, but given membership and honorary status. The offspring of these runaway slaves born on the reservations would automatically be classified as tribe members. Would this change that these enrolled tribe members were African? Would this make them indigenous to America? No. It's the same as an American moving to the United Kingdom and applying for citizenship. They can have a British passport. They can now be a British national based on naturalization. Will that make them indigenous to the United Kingdom? No. If they then have children and those children are born in the United Kingdom, those children will of course be British, but their ancestors will not be British. They are merely British-born Americans. And those children will have all the paperwork that says they are British and their parents are British. You see where I'm going with this?